The Lab Theater Project is very important because it only does new work. It's a champion of new work. And, it's a small theater, it's very hands-on, and it gives playwrights the chance to develop their work. So I think it's just a terrific theater, and it's beautiful for a small theater. The set is beautiful. It seems like a real family affair. Everybody pitches in and builds the set and paints the set and does the graphic and does the lighting. And these are very important theaters for young playwrights and for places to get started, because nobody goes right to Broadway. Hi, this is Wendy Graf, and if you'd like to learn more about my play Wednesday's Child, a world premiere, premiering at the Lab Theater Project in Tampa, Florida, and also live streamed and also on demand, watch the following video and you can learn all about it. I first learned about the Lab Theater Project because in 2012 in Tampa, they did a production of my play Behind the Gates. And one of the actors in the play was an actor named Owen Robertson. And they all lived in Tampa, all the actors. And after the play, I kind of stayed in touch on Facebook with a few of the actors. And Owen went on a few years later, well, a number of years later, to open up his own theater, the Lab Theater Project. And we stayed in touch and everything. He only does new work. So nothing that I had really was relevant at the time. So, and he said from time to time, "Ooh, send me this, it looks interesting," or something like that. And he's really smart, really perceptive, good director. And I had written this play, Wednesday's Child, and I had had not a lot of success with getting it produced here in LA or in Southern California. I think it's too not liberal for California, and it's too liberal for the other part of the country. So it was kind of a hard sell. And Owen said, "Send it to me. I'm kind of interested in this. This piques my interest." So I sent it to him. And then in the meantime, he asked me if I'd like to spend this summer being a mentor in his playwriting summer intensive, where I get one young playwright and I mentor him from page to stage. And I said, "Sure, I'd love to." Because I feel like, I enjoy doing that and I like giving back. So I started working with this young playwright. And then Owen said to me, "I want to see if we can put it on next season. Would you like to have us do a reading of it?" And they've gone back into the theater the whole time in Florida. I said, "Sure." So he put together a reading of it and he Zoomed me in. And I was like, "Wow, that's really great. This is really working." And he said, "Yeah, I really think we're going to put on next season." And then a couple of weeks later, he called me and he said, "Our September play just fell out. And since it's a one-woman show, how would you feel about us putting up Wednesday's Child?" And I was like, "Sure, I'd love to." And I usually don't like to do a new play out of town like that, but he's kept me Zoomed in to the rehearsals, and he's an excellent, excellent director. And he's, I'm very confident he's on the same page with me about everything, and he wants my input. And so that's how it happened. The reason I wrote it was, I admit, during 2016 to 2020, I was terrified for the country, and I didn't I didn't understand, again, the divisiveness. I didn't understand why so many people seem to be supporting an administration and leaders who seemed so anti-American to me. So anti the rule of law, anti-democracy. And my son, who is a producer at CBS News, I'd say around 2017, sent me this article from the Washington Post about a young woman who worked at a chicken plant in, I don't know, somewhere in Pennsylvania or something. And she felt outnumbered by, she was the only person there who spoke English, and she felt outnumbered and scared. And again, the other of the immigrants, all the Latin immigrants who worked there. And, she felt like, she and her family felt like, they were losing their majority status and all the things that comes along with it. And he said, read this article and then maybe you'll better understand the other side. And I said, okay. So I read the article and I was really kind of interested. It really piqued my interest. So then I started doing more research on, people who had lost their homes and the mortgage crisis and, the plants closed and the GM plant closed. And all these people were they just were alienated, and they just had they didn't recognize America anymore. And that's why they wanted to make America great again. They wanted to go back to the way it was, and they hadn't moved along with the times, and they were threatened and scared about what America was starting to look like to them. So then I read Hillbilly Elegy, and I got some more feeling, from that. And I read a lot of articles, did a lot of research. And then the story started to kind of emerge for me and come out of me. And I did it in a one actor format because I had done that before with two other plays, No Word in Guyanese for me and All American Girl. And I felt very confident writing in that format. So it came out of that, and I wrote the whole thing. And then I got a couple, I pulled in a couple of actors. Hey, you want to read it for me? And we started working on it, trimming and moving things around and that kind of thing. And then they went on to do other work. And then I wanted to get it into a certain festival here in LA. And the director said to me, right now, while we're in Zoom format, how would you feel about writing it 4 characters, playing different roles? And I said, okay, let's try it. So we did try it, and we had a private reading. And again, I learned, every time you have a reading, you learn more and more and more about the play, especially if you have smart actors and a smart director who gives you their feedback. So now I had the 4-character version and I had the 1-woman version. And Owen was very taken by the 1-woman version, which I admit is a lot more theatrical and magical than the 4-character version. And the rest is history. The play opens with Britt, our main character, in line, walking down the halls of New Mexico's prison. And she's about to get out after 15 years. So now we're saying, oh my God, what happened? How did this happen? It's a how did you get here from there play. And as she goes, then she gets on the bus and she's about to go home, but nothing's the same as it was before. The story unfolds and we find out how did she get here from there. What I want to get out is, again, first of all, I think it holds up a mirror to a part of society that has been ignored and deserves to be heard, not just in their little groups, but in our West Coast liberal bubble or our New York liberal bubble, our artistic liberal bubble. And, maybe again, if we can understand people, listening leads to understanding, leads to compassion. And we could just use a lot more compassion these days. We're so divided. And maybe by watching this, people will start to think about ways that we can become less divided. And the toxicity that's coming from this divisiveness. I think that in Florida, as in other places, there's a lot of divisiveness. And, back 10 years ago, the boogeyman, the other, was, Islamic terrorists and people from the Middle East and all that. And in the last 5 years, the boogeyman has become the other. For the left, the boogeyman has become the right. And for the right, the boogeyman has become the left. And again, I think if we listen to each other and we listen to this play, again, I hope it holds up a mirror to all our behavior and people can start thinking about ways that they can maybe bridge this divisiveness. I think there's another aspect of this play that I think is very interesting, and it doesn't offer any answers. Again, it only asks, what if? And our main character, Britt, starts out wanting all the right things, what we all want: home, love, family, security, and to do good. But painful events in her life drive her in a different direction. And I've always been interested in the choices people make, what makes them turn right instead of turn left, so to speak, and how does that apply to our behavior? Hi, this is Wendy Graf, and I want to encourage all of you to come and see my new world premiere production, Wednesday's Child, at the Lab Theater in Tampa, Florida. Now, if you do not live in Tampa, Florida, luckily for you, it is also being streamed. So please check it out, see if you can get the stream, and I think you'll be very happy and appreciative, and you'll enjoy it very much. See you at the theater.